Welcome back to another episode of Derech Eretz, with me, your host, Romy Stach. One of the buzzwords we are always hearing about is collaboration. Is this something new, or has it always been out there, just under a different name? Chief Rabbi Warren Goldstein elaborates on how the art of collaboration can be used in a meaningful and purposeful way.
Why is collaboration so very important? And the answer is, look at your fingers. If you look at your fingers and look at the fingerprints on your fingers and take a moment to consider the fact that your fingerprints are unique in the world. And think about how intricate a fingerprint is. It's an amazing thing that God has created each and every single one of us with unique fingerprints. And now I'll ask you this question. Why is it important that we have unique fingerprints? So maybe people in law enforcement will tell you, you need fingerprints to be able to catch the crooks. But it can't be that God created this elaborate system of unique fingerprints on each and every single person, and that's just for the purpose of law enforcement. So why is it? God is stamping on each and every single one of us a very clear sign that we are unique. There isn't another person in this world that is the same as you. Every single human being is unique. And the Talmud says, in the same way that every human face is a unique face, so too every human soul is a unique soul. Each and every single one of us is somebody special, with unique talents, with unique perspectives, with unique abilities. And each and every single one of us is created in the image of God with so much to contribute. And that is why collaboration is so important. And so because each and every single one of us is unique and special, and there aren't two of us, there's not two of you, there's not two of me, there's no one in the world is their duplicate. God went to the trouble to make every human being special and unique. And that's why collaboration is so important. Because when we collaborate, we bring together the combined wisdom, the combined abilities, the unique talents of everybody. And everyone has something special to contribute. If we only work on our own, we lose the benefit of the contributions of so many other people. And if we only work on our own, we lose the power of the whole. Of what our sages explain, Al tifrosh min hatzibur, do not separate yourself from the community. The concept of community is when people come together to achieve great things as partners with each other and as partners with God. That real sense that we're working on this together, that we're collaborating, and that the sum total of us working together is so much more powerful than when we're on our own. Right at the beginning of Genesis, at the beginning of the creation of the world, God says, Lo tov heyot Adam levado. It's not good for a person to be alone. We need to be together. We need to combine our efforts. And when we combine our efforts, we can achieve so many great things. And that has been part of what has held us together as a Jewish community, as a Jewish people, for thousands of years. What has held us together in our history has been these words of our sages, Al tifrosh min hatzibur, do not separate yourself from the community. When we come together as members of a community, we can achieve so much more than when we try to do that on our own, because then we have the unique and combined talents of so many different people. And that's what I experience here in South Africa. If you think about what has been established in the South African Jewish community over all of these years, the schools, the welfare organizations, the security organizations, the everything that has been done, it has been done because we have worked together. And now is the time to come together more than ever. As we go forward together as a community, we need to work together and collaborate with one another. We need to collaborate with all South Africans, because we're here building a great country in South Africa, and that is going to require the unique talents of each and every single South African. So as the Jewish community, we collaborate internally as a community to create incredible institutions that uplift every dimension of communal life. But also, as a South African Jewish community, we pledge ourselves to collaborate with all of our fellow South Africans in partnership, to say, let us together as partners create a truly great country. Because when we work together, we have the force of community, we have the force of combined efforts. And that is something which is so special. That is what God wants from us, to work together, to link arms, to realize that we're all brothers and sisters together, looking to make this world into a better place.
Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz.
The ongoing xenophobic violence in South Africa, which began in earnest in 2008, has left thousands of people displaced and humiliated. Through positive collaborations with various organizations and individuals, the Africa Awake team work with affected communities to provide upliftment opportunities in order to enable healing and growth.
Xenophobia is the fear of the other, the one that is not like you. And the violence associated with it started in 2008. Initially, before 2008, it would be attacks on people here and there. But then 2008, it was widespread across South Africa.
And it was local black South Africans attacking black foreign nationals from other African countries like Congo, Burundi, Rwanda, Zimbabwe. So, you know, borders after all are a man-made phenomenon, most of them, and I just think it's completely ludicrous and unfair that anyone should have to run for their lives or be made to suffer just because they're from another country, or because they have a different religion, or because they have a different sexual orientation, or whatever it is. But of course with the xenophobia, it's so brutal that there's just, it was impossible for me not to actually do something. And now that I've been involved for, it's 10 years now, it's impossible for me to turn away because the problems, there are so many challenges, and it just seems to be getting more and more intense as the years go on.
They say foreigners take our jobs, foreigners take our women, foreigners sell fake goods, sell expired stuff, you know, stuff like that. And because people are frustrated, indeed they don't have jobs, and they see the foreigner coming, he's got nothing, and then after some time he starts to have a good life, he improves. They begin to think that maybe either he's stealing, or then they came up with a story. But I came to learn that that's human nature, you know. When life is not going well, we tend to think that something else is happening. So it's a reaction to the difficulties of life in South Africa, especially in the townships. And I felt that this is really not good, that a country where people came together and they overcame apartheid, all of a sudden they have an issue and they can't talk about it and they cannot come together. And I realized that I was not alone, you know. Both South Africans and foreigners were saying that this is not African. And South Africans were insisting, this is not South African. That's not who we are.
The link between me and Gabriel is we are good comrades. The beginning of the African Diaspora Forum, we've been together, going from one camp to another camp, visiting people who were displaced during the attack at the camps. And some of us came down to Yeovil because we believe Yeovil is the heart of Africa, where you find every migrant in. So we said, okay, let's come to Yeovil so our people can have that free access to us, and we're still pushing for the right cause for our people.
Being a Jewish South African, I know, we all know as Jews what our ancestors have had to suffer, and we were all refugees around the world after World War II. And I always just think, you know, imagine I was from a war-torn country or escaping persecution or poverty or whatever it is, and I ran away, which anyone would do because our instinct to survive overrides anything else, I believe. You know, wouldn't I only hope that somebody on the other side would be there to offer me some assistance and some help.
We realized that we need to have activities that bring people together. We bring the theme of unity in Africa. That's the one that we used in Alexandra. We hold a number of activities. We're taking children from Alexandra schools. We taught them about African countries. We connected them to our African embassies that are based in Pretoria. We held soccer tournaments, and in all those activities will be South Africans and people from the rest of the continent.
I've been living with South African people since I came here. I've never been attacked. You see, since I've been going around the location, I've never been attacked. But the government and the migrant organization in South Africa needs to come into a big dialogue and tell the government, fulfill your promises to your people, create job. Because if you are idle, you always think of destroying, you always think of looting, you always think of stealing. But when there is something for you to do, you go out in the morning, you don't even have time thinking about the guy that owns the spicer shop. You see, so the government needs to do something. If not, xenophobia will continue and continue and continue. We only hear about xenophobia when it is strong. But on daily basis, every day there is xenophobia.
The work of Africa Awake has been to try to bring communities together, assist those who are in need, and try to create an environment whereby people can talk about the issues. And then mostly we prefer people to reintegrate, go back into the communities where they came from. Of course, we also raised money to give them so that they can go and start life again, because everything had been stolen.
The people who attack, and even the ones who just join in for whatever, don't realize the impact that it has on the people who are being attacked and being displaced. Families get broken up. You know, it takes people sometimes years to then get back on their feet and try and start again. That's not to mention the trauma that some people are left with, you know, to deal with. So it sometimes carries on for years, where we have to then try and help people to, you know, go and move to a different area and then find employment and find schools, etc., etc. So we do a lot of that work. And on the other side, we also do a lot of work with, you know, we engage with the city of Joburg and governmental departments. We sit on a lot of boards of other NGOs who do similar things, so that we can try and collaborate and put more pressure on government. So we're very busy and very active, although we are very grassroots. We are related to Joe Slovo, so my grandmother and Joe were first cousins. And I think it's just really, I definitely do just branch from that side of the tree. And I definitely had the kind of upbringing where I was exposed to a lot of different cultures and different people, which I think also helped, you know, bring me to the point where I am now.
Romy is wonderful. Romy is all over the show. Romy is putting her heart out there. You know, whenever she hears of a case of someone who's in trouble, just because they are a foreigner, she goes all the way out and to take on whoever is causing trouble. So it's quite an amazing and it's a blessing to have her as a member and a director of Africa Awake.
Derech Eretz, to me, I think really is about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, and knowing that at any time, when any lifetime, you might find yourself being that person that is stuck, or that finds themselves fleeing or running to a foreign country. Whatever the situation is, you might be that person one day. We don't know what the future holds. Look what happened in the past. So important that we all look out for each other and share.
Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz.
One of the interpretations of collaboration can be two or more people working together towards shared goals. This is most certainly true of Ortjet Cape Town. Through their numerous business networks, entrepreneurial training and mentorship programs, they are helping many people to achieve their goals.
Ortjet is an organization that supports Jewish entrepreneurs. We are focused on running a mentorship program, business networking, and provide entrepreneurial training. Our mandate is to empower, mentor, and grow businesses within our community using the resources, the expertise, the skills, and the knowledge that exist within our Jewish community.
So it's quite a process that the entrepreneur needs to go through once they come to Ortjet for support. They first come to an induction session, which is a 2-hour workshop, just telling them all the details they need to know about our program on offer. And then the entrepreneur submits a form to us and we invite them to a panel meeting. And at that panel meeting, we really do a thorough analysis of the business and the person, and we see where help is needed or where they could do with a little bit of assistance. And thereafter we find the right mentor for them. We look at the specific skills set required, as well as personality type, because I think the fit with a mentor and a mentee is really important.
I've been relatively fortunate in my life in terms of both schooling and university, and I wanted to give something back. Ortjet seemed to be the perfect avenue to do that. I like the philosophy of the organization. I like that it's democratic in the sense that different people come into the organization from all different walks of life, and we're able to help one another through the facilitation of the organization.
Matthew, who I've been with, has just been incredible, and I requested a financial mentor because that was one of the skills that I really did not have any experience in. So it's been quite a few years that I've been mentored, and I think my business reflects that.
Entrepreneurs generally want someone to act as a sounding board to them, someone that they can work through problems with. But then in South Africa particularly, there are issues that relate to labour and particular labour laws. And then there are issues of regulation as well. My entrepreneurs, or the ones I mentor anyway, tend not to worry too much about regulations, I have to say. Not because they're being irresponsible, but because they're so passionate about what they do, and they feel so strongly that what they bring to the country, to the community, is so important that they focus on the work aspects. Every now and again, as a mentor, you have to say, well, you may have to think about this, or you may have to think about that. But so it doesn't come from a bad place.
Well, I've been a mentee for about 2 years. I think the support has helped me and given me the confidence to implement things that I may have taken a bit longer to do. So it's nice when you've got an idea to be able to bounce it off somebody who's been where you've been. It gives you the confidence to go forward with it. Ortjet also provides a lot of training, a lot of access to talks. Sometimes topics that you think may not be relevant to you. You leave these conversations with a tremendous amount of insight, which helps you not only in your business life, but your personal life. So it's a whole growth experience.
Another challenge that a lot of our entrepreneurs have is because they're either themselves are in the business or have small teams, they generally are doing everything. So it's incredibly challenging on how to prioritize, how to ensure that one is growing one's business and moving forward and not just doing the stuff you like to do and ignore the stuff you don't like to do, because that in essence is human nature. But what Ortjet provides through our different entrepreneurial training opportunities as well with the mentorship program is that we try and empower and increase the knowledge of entrepreneurs that are part of Ortjet. So to be honest with you, Ortjet is all about growing, learning as a person, but also as a business.
Ortjet offers mentors an enrichment program where we offer boardroom conversations probably about 3 or 4 times a year. This partnership is with Deloitte, where they host all the events, and our mentors come along, and also we offer training for the mentors where they learn different skills of being a mentor, because just being a successful entrepreneur doesn't necessarily mean that you have the correct skills to be a mentor.
I think to be a successful mentor, the golden rule is not to offer advice. One can share experience, and certainly the ability to listen, interpret, and answer questions that the mentee may be asking, but never to offer advice. And that's quite simple, the reason for that. You never want anything coming back to you on poor advice given or on a situation that you didn't fully understand. But through shared experience, I think one's able to offer a lot of value to the mentee, which allows the mentee to empower themselves and make their own decision, one that they're comfortable with and one that's been well considered.
Ortjet is about empowering entrepreneurs. We are built on the values of integrity and on guiding others to be better versions of themselves. This, to me, epitomizes Derech Eretz. We, as the professionals in the Ortjet team, our mentors, our speakers, everyone that is involved with Ortjet does it because they want to, and because they want to see other people succeed. And in my opinion, that to me is the essence of what Derech Eretz is all about. Bringing a light unto the nation and creating a positive, beautiful, successful South Africa.
Hillel, one of the most influential rabbis in Jewish history, used to say, "If I am not for myself, then who will be for me? Yet, if I am for myself only, what am I? And if not now, when?" We would love you to be part of the conversation, so share your views and stories on our Facebook page at Spirit Sister Productions Network. From me, Romy Stoch, and the Derech Eretz team, remember, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much.